Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy. It's just after 9 o'clock on a Monday, and I think it's going to be a good week. I got a guest in studio. I got Mr. Joe Bettis. Joe, what's up? How you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You work at Ron Carter League City, right?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been into the car industry? How long have you been kind of doing what you do?
I've been there since 14, I think. But, I mean, I grew up in the car business. My dad was in it. My grandpa was in it. So,
yeah,
it's kind of a family business.
I got you. Yeah, we've talked about this before. You said, I think you from New York. You went and played college basketball at Hawaii. You've done a lot. You've traveled all over.
Yeah. I've been a lot of places. You know, Texas is my favorite. But with everything going on right now, I'm definitely glad to be here.
Yeah. You know, and how has COVID-19, the coronavirus, how has it affected the car industry? Because you grew up in it. You know, your dad was in the industry. You've been in it. Have you ever seen what's going on in the world, and how has that affected, I guess, the car industry?
It was a little similar in 2008 for, like, the first month, I guess. Excuse me. It's been good right now. When it was all started and none of us knew what was going on and what we were going to do, you know, because this kind of all hit at once, you know. The first month was kind of weird. We were only working every other day. We didn't really know the rules yet. You know, every day you come into work, people are putting up shields, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And then they came out with the good old, you know, well, hey, no payments for 120 days, 0%. You know, they found a way to get people to buy cars, but it's kind of going back to normal now as far as, you know, the amount of people we have coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now that people are back to work and whatnot, well, most people, you know, there's some that are still kind of struggling to get their businesses open. But we've been doing real good. You know, our owners have helped us out a lot.
Were y'all ever forced to close?
We were never forced to close. You know, it was a little weird, you know, doing what we do. There's so much hands-on, working every other day, getting what you needed to get done was kind of difficult. But, you know, our managers and, you know, the guys that are there full-time, like service, they weren't working every other day. They were there full-time. You know, they helped us out a lot. But it was hard. We had to close early. I mean, I wasn't that upset about leaving at 6 every day. So, you know, although it was nice to get back to work. You know, working 3 days a week was weird.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've been 6 days a week for years.
Yeah, you know, in the car industry, it's a lot of relationships. It's a lot of handshaking and just, you know, things change. Like, you know, whenever that COVID-19 came, and it changed everybody's industry for a while, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Now people are touching elbows, or the first thing they say is, "I'd shake your hand, but I don't want to."
And you have to feel the other person out. Like, are they comfortable? I don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Right. You know, like, should I hit the hand sanitizer machine that there's one every 10 feet at our store? Like,
yeah.
Hi, how are y'all doing today?
Well, that's another thing you could do. It's like, okay, you get a squirt of hand sanitizer in your hand, I'll get one in mine, and then we do the handshake, and it's just a matter of, hey, we're both good.
Yeah.
Let's get creative with it.
You can kind of tell now because, you know, the people that are real serious about it, you know, are walking around with, like, a mask and a shield. You know, being in a car dealership, we see it all every day. You know, we have some people that don't want to wear one at all, and then we have some people that, you know, look like they're about to start welding the place.
I think in the middle, somewhere in the middle, that's probably the best. Taking safety precautions, but, you know, not trying to live in fear, but just being smart about what you do. What's best for you and your fam?
Absolutely.
So I see my wife. She's watching on social media. Good morning, Jennifer. She said, hey, we need a new car. I have a 6.5-month-old little boy. I have a 7-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter, then me and my wife. So I need a lot of space in a car. Is there anything coming out that I should be excited for?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about it. The Wagoneer's coming out. They've got videos all over the internet now. They've actually done a full-on demonstration. They basically tell you everything about the car. It's going to make it easy on the salesperson whenever they come in. But we don't have a solid date yet, but it should be within the year, hopefully. But that's going to be really good for us because that's the only thing our brand was kind of lacking is we don't have that big Tahoe Suburban type vehicle. Now we will.
Yeah.
And it'll be nicer than everyone else's.
And that's something else that, you know, COVID-19 has affected, and you've seen it in like the food industry, in like even like toilet paper, like the places that are assembling, you know, the vehicles, the places that are packing the food. It's potentially slowed down some some dates, right?
Big time. Yeah, I mean, we're blessed because we're a bigger store, and our owners have never been scared to keep the lot full. But a lot of people were completely out of cars. You know, like when you drive towards Austin and you see some of those smaller dealerships, like there was one in Sealy, there's one in LaGrange, there's one in Bastrop. I was driving by those places, and I was like,
Nothing there, huh?
nothing, just used cars. It was weird. And then like the commercial fleet vehicles, like the vans and stuff like that. And that was just like, wow. But we're getting good stuff in now. But for a while, I mean, they didn't build cars for 3 or 4 months, you know? So I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, maybe like the Great Depression or whenever they were converted auto factories to building tanks and stuff for the war. But you know, I'm just guessing that. I don't think they've ever stopped.
Even in the Great Depression, like I think back and it's like, what are they driving? Like those Model Ts? Like I feel like cars that just came out anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just went back to the wagon to save gas.
We're going on the horse. We're going on the horse ride. You know, for us, we got to get around, and so a lot of people maybe had to, trade in a car or buy a used car. That's something else I wanted to talk about. What has this year done to the used car market?
Well, it's made people's cars worth a lot more. You know, if anybody's thinking about getting out of their car but kind of curious if, you know, they're upside down or not, come let us take a look at it because cars are worth a lot more than they should be right now.
Yeah.
Because there's just a shortage. I mean, you think about how many people buy cars every day and when you don't build them for that many months. But the used car market's been great. I mean, we have a ton of them right now that are super nice. You know, a lot of people traded in stuff that was really great because the deals on new cars were so good. They were like, well, I can just kind of swap in or out, you know, for the same thing. It just made sense. And now, like, some people are like, well, this car's only got 6,000 miles or this one's in perfect condition. You know, a lot of people are scared to use cars because they're like, well, why did someone trade it in? And they're like, why does your kid need a new iPhone every 6 months? You know, some people don't. Some people don't care. They just want something new. People enjoy shopping. You know, certain ones.
Yeah,
and
that's the kind of customer you want.
It
right?
is, but I've noticed that, especially with the younger crowd, is, you know, they'll call me and be like, oh, hey, when is Uconnect 5 coming out? Or, hey, like, you know, in the trucks, I had people trading in beautiful trucks just because they wanted that huge screen. And it's just the technology. There's nothing wrong with their vehicles. Some people just have to have the latest and greatest. I love those customers. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, all customers, but specifically those.
Yeah, I don't do that because, you know, I kind of drive them until the wheels fall off. But, you know, I try to get at least 6 years. But most people are 2 or 3.
Yeah, the Ram truck. And I think I know what you're talking about with the Uconnect, because we did a video for one, and it has a screen. And I'm going to put this shot up. So if you're watching on social media, you can kind of see this KHEA Radio 99 Heart 5 right here. If you're not, and you're listening, you know, from your car, from work, go check out our Facebook page. Go like KHEA Radio's Facebook, and you'll see there's a screen in this truck that's probably about as big as this, and it's like on its side. It's huge. It's huge in there. The technology is awesome.
And it was a new body style, too. So some of those people I could understand. They were just, you know, that's you were in one for the weekend. You know, it's a beautiful truck, you know, at some point. Sometimes you just get in something. There's been a few cars like that for me where I was like, okay, I have to have this. And within a certain amount of time, you know, I impulse buy when I buy a vehicle. Something comes out because I have to love it. I can't just be like, that's all right. It's got to be something I really, really want. And I'm kind of like you with this Wagoneer thing. I'm really waiting to see because, you know, I've got 3 kids and my wife, she likes her car, but I want something that I want to drive too.
Yeah. What is she driving right now?
She drives a Pacifica.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah, it actually is super nice.
Yeah,
she had
spacious.
She loves it. You know, I'll actually probably keep that car forever just to travel in because, you know, it's the most comfortable thing in the world. And I do like driving it. I just don't like being seen in it sometimes because you know, it's got like the, you know, Princesses on Board sticker in the back. Oh, yeah, you know, kid-friendly plates, all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
But, you know, I won't lie, even when both of our cars are at the house, I still take hers. It's more comfortable. It's like sitting in my recliner at the house.
Okay, before we went on air, you mentioned something else was coming out, and I'm not sure if I fully understood, but did you say a Hellcat truck is coming out?
Well, it's called a TRX. It's got the same engine as the Hellcat, so it's still going to have 700-plus horsepower, but it's basically a 4x4. They're all going to come stock on 37-inch tires. It's going to be the most amazing truck. You know, it's going to have heads up, the big screen. You know, it's a lot of people always want to compare it to the Raptor. Well, the Raptor's not 700 horsepower, and it can't go 200 miles per hour off
Yeah.
road. So
Off-road.
Yeah, this is one of those things I'm really excited about just to see, because it's one of those things they've been talking about for, again, like 5 years when they built a concept, which was still in the old body style, and it's finally happening. And it kind of came on pretty quick. We knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know how quick. It was kind of like when the Gladiator came out. They'd been talking about that for like 10 years, and then finally it happened. We're like, oh, okay. But this one I'm like super excited about. I want to see it. I've actually got a good customer of mine. He ordered one for somebody in his family.
He already ordered one, unseen, just getting it.
Yeah, that's all of our orders were filled on him pretty much unseen. But, he's a Mopar guy. He's got a Demon. He's got 2 or 3 Hellcats. But that's going to be the guy that I'm going to say, hey, can I drive it? And he's like, yeah, here, go ahead. So I hope that order comes in first, because I know he'll let me drive it. The other people, I wouldn't really want to ask that question.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome. Okay, right now it's 9:24. This is KHEA Radio.com, 99.5 FM. I'm Gardy. This is Kickstart. I'm talking to Joe Bettis. He's with Ron Carter Leak City. We're finding out everything that's going on pretty much in the car industry, the new stuff that's coming out, how COVID-19 has affected the car industry, from the factory all the way down to, trading in and getting a different car. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to keep it going on social media. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM.
Man, you need a Jamie.
I need somebody.
Like, Jamie, pull it up.
pull it up.
Yeah.
So we're still going on Facebook, and we started streaming on YouTube and Periscope. Do you have a Twitter?
Mm-mm.
I deleted mine some years ago. Just seemed like the best thing to do, because anything on there, it just...
The only time you hear about Twitter is when somebody, like when some athlete or coach tweets something really ridiculous. And
they get in trouble for it.
Yeah, it's the one platform that's always just negative. And I thought only celebrities had Twitter.
Yeah.
No one cares what we
I know,
tweet.
exactly. That's why I was like, I'm deleting mine. I don't even, no one cares. But KHEA, we have one, and Periscope is what they use, so we found if we can live stream to there too now, so we want to stream everywhere we can.
Well, but you already have followers for KHEA. You make a lot of stuff. Like for me, what am I going to tweet? Like, come buy a car today?
Yeah.
But no, it's funny because you made me just realize that it really is the only negative platform, but you never really hear anything good from Twitter.
Yeah, just like people get fact checked, and then someone gets called out, like, you tweeted something not nice, about this person 5 years ago.
Yeah,
and
you
then
say something not nice on Facebook, only your friends see it.
Right. Yeah, and then your privacy settings. And, yeah, Twitter.
And I got to do that with my Facebook sometimes. I have people like that'll tag me in something, and I'm like, whoa, no. I got like my kids' teachers on here, customers. Like, I always tell people that when they like if you add me on Facebook, you get like a message like, hey, the certain friends.
And then so what I have found, and whenever KHEA Radio started connecting more with like city officials and stuff, and a lot of them are great. All the people we get to work with is awesome.
Mm-hmm. But
they have like official city account, and then they have their personal like friend account, and you can very much tell a difference, which they're both, everything is good on both, but everything is like, the city seal on there, and it's for official business, and then the other one is like, hey, here's a picture of my kids and my experience at school today or whatever.
Yeah.
So
because I read some funny stuff on social media, and I'm like, man, I couldn't say that on social media.
Hey, here's Joanna. She said, love Ron Carter Leak City, bought my Jeep from David Holman. Joanna, how you doing? She's at Coastal Community.
Yeah, Holman is actually on the board there, I believe. I've known Holman for years. He's a real good friend of mine. Pretty much has all the clientele in Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
He's real involved with the community down there.
Yeah.
Helps out with the children. I don't know what his title is, but he does a lot for the Children's Center in Galveston. He's on the board of Coastal. He does a lot of stuff, a lot of community stuff.
Yeah, Coastal, I know they got the branch in Galveston. I think maybe even 2 branches in Galveston. And then they have the one over by Buc-ee's.
They have the one by Buc-ee's.
It's like brand new.
I know there's the one right where you go over the causeway. There might be 2.
Yeah. Hey, have you been to Lago Mar yet?
No, I've only seen it on y'all's stuff, and then a few friends have posted pictures and stuff like that.
I've been out there 7 times, but I've never been swimming. Every time we've been out there, it's been like doing some. I mean, it's awesome. It's beautiful out there, and they're open till November 1st now.
Is there a lot of people out there swimming and stuff though?
So they're operating right now, I think under 50% capacity. There's a lot of people out there, but it's so big. It's like so it's 24 million gallons of water. And
It's like, what is it, like 8 acres, 11 acres? I
yeah,
saw that.
no, it's like, I can't remember if it's like 6 to 8 acres
To
of
see it
water.
would be
And then
really
there's the
cool.
property of like everything else. But so I got to go on a canoe. We did a live stream, and I went there in jeans because Erie, he's with Lane Tejas, the developer, and he had sent me a text like, "Hey, want to come out?" I was like, "Of course I want to come out. Yes, I want to come." He asked if we wanted to do. They have a floating obstacle course. He's like, "You want to do an interview from the floating obstacle course?" And I was, "I think so, yeah." But you got to swim out there, and I'm just trying to think if I had the microphone, like how I would do that. Like had the microphone up in the air. And I was like, I could take it like a plastic baggie, and I was like, man, I just don't think, because if I slip
That's
or
just
fall
gonna
off,
go wrong.
I know it would go wrong, and it would break it, and then I would just be sad, right? So I was like, let's do a kayak, or he was like, well, let's do one of these stand up like wakeboards, and you spent time in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
I've seen like I almost rented one the one time I went, yeah, paddleboard. Like a paddleboard. I was like, I don't know if I could keep my balance. I've never done it before.
Depends how thick it is, really.
Yeah.
I mean, so some of them are kind of easy. Depends on the person too. But
yeah,
it's just like a surfboard. The thicker it is, the easier it is. But I mean, you still got a pretty good chance. I mean, how good's your balance holding a microphone and a cell phone and
thinking, asking
mixed out with the nerves?
Ooh, yeah.
You know? Like, hey, how much is this gonna cost if I fall? You know, I mean.
So we did it from a kayak, and it was okay. The other thing, whenever we fly the drone out there, and it makes my nerves, I get a little nervous because kids love drones. People love drones. You see it and it's up, they just like it, right?
Oh yeah.
The first time we went out there with the drone, kids were they had like these little water, a water gun in the water, and they were like whoosh, trying to shoot it out the sky.
Totally been that kid.
We're like, oh, that's like, okay, that's $1,000 drone, flying in the sky. And then there's people out there playing with football. They're having a blast. They're having fun. And I was like seeing the football fly by the drone.
Who was flying the drone? You or
Kurt?
Kurt? Oh, I could just see how he loves his equipment. If one of those
he does.
If one of those kids would have nailed that drone,
But
he would have cried.
But even more than he loves the equipment, he loves getting the daring shot. And I was like, looking back over there, I was like, does he see how close this is? These, young guys, teenagers playing football, and the kids up there like pointing at the drone, splashing. And so I was like, please don't let anything happen to this drone. And I'm trying to concentrate on that.
You're right,
ask
though.
The questions.
What would he have been more mad about, losing the shot or the drone?
Oh, I got the shot. But thankfully, we haven't had any broken equipment out there. So, but it's awesome.
Weren't they riding jet skis in that thing?
They did ride jet skis, but for like a demo. You can't rent them out there right now, but there's space for it. I mean, it's huge.
So they are going to have jet skis.
I don't know for sure. Right now,
sounds like a bad idea.
Kinda.
But I'm just waiting for the first kid to break in there at night and put his jet ski in the water.
Oh, just tear it up. They'd have a blast.
Yeah, for about 10 minutes, but
Well,
yeah.
right now they have a sailboat, but they have like a guide out there for like a sailboat that'll take you. So you could ride a sailboat. You can do the kayaks yourself, 1 person, 2 person. They have the paddleboard, and then they got an electric one too. So you can stand on that, and I guess you don't paddle, but it'll just go, and you can kind of guide it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They should get those bikes that you paddle on, like in Mexico too.
Yeah.
But I guess people get hurt on those.
Yeah.
It's just wild that someone thought of that. Like, hey, let's build a 12-acre lagoon here.
Yeah. I think there's 3 in Texas. One's in Texas City, one's in Humble, and then one's like in the Dallas area. So there's 600, and I think there's about 600 in the world.
Right.
Yeah. They came out of like Brazil, or not. I don't know, somewhere in like South America. I actually had the chance to interview the VP of the Crystal Lagoon Corporation, and we're fortunate to have one right here. But it's huge for like the economic development of our area. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. I mean, the timing was a little off, because I feel like we'd have all said, yeah, we've been there. If right now everything's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Even in our neighborhood pool, people in mine.
I didn't even know if mine was open, like the splash pad, and then
it was like a argument in our neighborhood whether it should be or shouldn't be, and I was just like, well,
leave it up to the person. I feel.
Yeah,
family.
I mean, doesn't it die in chlorine?
See, I don't know. I need to interview a doctor so we can find that out. But everything changes.
Everything changes. Yeah.
All right, let's go back on the FM here, and we'll just talk some more about everything going on. Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. Right now it is 9:33 on a Monday, I got Joe Bettis from Ron Carter League City in studio. Joe, how's it going so far this morning?
Things going great. Been here hanging out with you.
Yeah. It took me a bit, and we were a little late getting on the air because I was hunting down some coffee. How is the coffee?
It's pretty good.
Is it?
It's Keurig coffee.
Yeah, thank you, Keurig.
Your lady in the front made it better last time, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I miss her. Was it Miss Joanne? Do you remember her name?
No, I would remember her face, though. If
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, there's Miss Joanne, and Katie's been working there. And actually, today on Mondays, we have Darian. I went and asked Darian at the front, and I was like, Darian. And then Gerardo was up there, too. I was like, do either one of y'all know how to work the coffee machine? And they're both like, nah. One was like, my wife usually makes the coffee. So I went in there, and I was looking at it, and it looked too complicated for me. I was like, I'm going to mess this up.
I'm like that, too. I don't even know how to work the one at work.
Yeah. Is it a Keurig one?
No.
It's like an actual coffee machine.
Actual coffee pot.
I got
type
you.
Deal, but like one of like the high end ones where there's like two, and like what you see at a diner or something like that.
That's what we have. But it's like, I don't know, it looks too fancy, and I'm like, I don't want to start pushing buttons.
Yeah, I don't want to break it. That's my thing.
So, okay, Ron Carter League City. One of the things that I really enjoyed about going there, besides getting to hang out with y'all and just check out all the cars, was the popcorn machine. And so the last 2 times I went, popcorn machine's out of commission. That's one of the biggest losses that I've seen at Ron Carter League City for me due to COVID-19.
Yeah, there's no snacks, no popcorn, just because, the main thing is, like, kids always stick their hands in it, and we normally throw it away. That's really the biggest thing. But, I mean, it's just not supposed to. Hopefully that's going to come back.
Yeah.
We've actually had a few employees that broke it out in the it's still there. It's in the back room. We had a few employees make a batch a few weeks ago, and even like me, that's one thing when you're in the car business. I can't stand popcorn anymore.
Yeah.
Because you eat it so much.
Every day.
Yeah, between popcorn and I still love pizza, but most people in the car business, between donuts, kolaches, popcorn, and pizza, you're just kind of done.
Yeah.
Which I still love pizza, but all the other ones, I'm over.
I got you.
Like donuts, I don't even like to look at them anymore. My little girl's like, let's go get a donut. I'm like, ugh.
No donuts.
No donuts.
Yeah, I got you. All right. So whenever it comes to all the things offered at Ron Carter League City, kind of list us through, like, what can you get if you walk in, you've never been, and they don't even know what kind of cars y'all offer there. What can somebody expect when they walk in?
Great service. But man, the cool thing is a lot of people are like that. They don't know what they want. They just want to look at a couple options, or different sizes, A lot of people are scared to actually come in. Everybody wants to be in front of the computer. Sometimes, and then we get customers that it makes it easy on. They're just like, hey, I just want to sit in this. Well, come in. That's what we're here for. But right now, we have a lot of good stuff going on. I mean, if people are just even slightly considering getting a car right now, I mean, come see us. We won't pressure you to buy a car. We hope you do. But we have a lot of good stuff. I'm really surprised with what we were talking about, everything going on. I didn't think the end of the year sales were going to be the way they are, because what are you going to blow out? There's no inventory.
Yeah.
But they somehow, I guess, putting everybody back to work, factories open 24 hours, they've got us stuff. They're getting really aggressive right now trying to sell cars. Like we talked about, the used cars are worth a lot right now. So we've been selling quite a few cars, but it's a great time. It's the right time of the year.
What kind of stuff are y'all trying to sell right now? I know every month there's like an incentive or some kind of offer. What's going on?
It always varies from vehicle to vehicle, but right now it's not bad on anything. Trucks are great right now.
Mm-hmm.
Really great, which I wasn't expecting, because you are already seeing 2021s and 2020s coming in at the same time. They're identical. But the midsize SUVs, Cherokees are great right now. Grand Cherokees are offering 0% for 72 months. And all of Dodge, the Challengers, Chargers. If you want to buy something with a V8 right now is the right time to do it.
You know what's funny? Whenever I see somebody who has a car and has a Ron Carter League City, they always know who you are. They're like, oh, yeah, Joe and Lucy. And odds are that they bought the car from you. I just realized, so I got some new neighbors, and I haven't talked too much to them, but they have a white Ram, and then a Cherokee. And I need to look because they park them if they're in the driveway. Right. I need to look and see if it's from League City, and then I can strike up and have an excuse to be like, hi, neighbor. It's just weird. It's like, yeah, COVID-19's going on. You're a stranger. You moved into a house, but I'm still friendly, and maybe I can make a connection that way.
I'm like that too in my neighborhood because every time I see somebody with like a new Ram, I'm like, wait, they didn't buy that from me. You know?
Yeah.
I want to go knock on their door and be like, hey, I know you live like 8 houses down, but I sell these things. Don't buy them anywhere else.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know. I got you.
It's like you put a sign in the yard. I sell Rams. I don't think my HOA would like that, though.
Well, they put up the political signs, supporting the president or supporting, this party or that party or city council. Support Ron Carter, Leak City, and Joe and Lucy Bettis for your Ram and Dodge needs in this area.
Yeah, I could probably get away with it. I'll have Lucy look into it. I don't like dealing with the HOA. It's horrible.
2 years ago, we had the idea to do something like that, and we never did it because we were looking at how much it costs to print signs, and I wanted to do a KHEA radio for positivity, and then like real small, like in the community, and make it look like a political sign. Like if you in Leak City, you'll see on the side and in the middle of the road, like all these big, this person for city council, and I just wanted to go drop all these KHEA radio signs like next to them, just as big, and see if anybody noticed.
I like the political signs sometimes, like because they make people kind of get involved when it's like so and so for like school board or this and that. But I just don't like the ones when they have like the really like negative slogan. That's where your idea would come in. It's kind of like you're seeing these presidential ads, and the one's just saying horrible things about the other one, and you're just like, oh man, here we go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that's one of my things that during the day is whenever for some reason we thought it was a good idea to play the news in the service department one day.
I'm sure.
And there's just two people just having a great political debate, and I didn't get any work done. I just sat in a desk that wasn't even mine for like an hour listening to these two guys. I loved it, man. They just like don't even know each other. But old people, they have like these like discussions. Young people, we just yell at each other and only our opinion. But it's just great. These guys like agreed with nothing the other one said. But they're old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that politically correct?
It's okay.
They're super old, all right?
Older than us.
Yeah, they're just having like a grand old like debate and like a discussion, and they like shake hands.
Civil.
Yeah, and like, they made friends disagreeing, and I'm like, man, I should have been born like 30 years. Oh, I was born 30 years ago. Like 30 years before 30 years ago.
Yeah. Hey, here's a comment. This is from Oscar Allen. He's a local photographer, him and his wife. He also has a podcast. Oscar, drop the name of your podcast in the comments on social media. He said, talking about the signs in the yard, he said, do it, then sell the HOA, get him in a new Ram. Yeah, I got you. I got your deal right here.
Yeah, that'd be a good deal, except I kind of try to hide from the HOA.
not get attention.
Yeah, they always like give me like the list of issues, and every once in a while that one lady that's really mad knocks on the door and wants me to sign a petition. I always say it's my parents' house. I think they've caught on to the fib by now, though.
Yeah, I've had people come up to my house and they ask if my parents are home.
That happened to me when I moved in. I was only like 25, but yeah, they were like, "Hi, are your parents home?"
I look around. I'm like, actually, no, they're not here. Anything I can help you with? When are they going to be back?
Funny. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I actually do want to do something with a sign. We used to put the magnets on the cars.
Yeah.
But I just quit doing that because when the kids were little, putting them they're still little. What am I talking about? But getting them in the car seats and stuff, is I never really got anybody that would call me and say, oh, hey, I saw, your magnet. But I would have people stop me in the parking lot and start talking to me. And it was like,
just call.
It was only when I had the kids, though. They never could catch me running in and out of the grocery store. It was always, putting the kid in the car seat. So we quit doing it.
Yeah, it's hot out here or whatever.
Back, though. Yeah. I'll stick him on my son's car.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. Let him answer the questions.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, call if he's driving recklessly. Or like you'd get those calls, be like, hey, yeah, he was driving. Okay, he was speeding a little bit, but do you want to buy a car?
Yeah, he can't drive recklessly because he actually works at the store too.
Okay.
So, but driving is basically his job, so he can't have a bad driving record.
What does he do?
So he works in parts. He's only 19.
Yeah.
He works in parts, and he's basically learning that area of the dealership.
Cool.
And then does the delivery stuff, whatever they need him to do, really. But he spends most of his day running around delivering, picking up. They have a pretty big warehouse. I mean, he has to stay moving. He's always doing something, but I don't really know anything about parts. I mean, I know how to go back there and order them, but like, they answer the phone, click on the computer, and half the time the part's something, I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
And they can just reel it off. So it's a good place to kind of sharpen the mind a little bit for him.
Yeah, for sure.
He seems to like it. I don't think he likes working 50 hours a week, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Are you dreading the point where like there's something that's going on and he's like, Dad, you wouldn't understand. Like a part situation, he's like, you don't know how this works back here. Leave this to the guys in the parts.
Yeah, I kind of just text him what I need,
Yeah.
you know, or I normally go to either Donald or Mike, you know, one of the guys in the front, just because they're, you know, he's kind of lower on the totem pole. I gotta go to them, and he's never there. He's always delivering stuff. But yeah, I think he gets annoyed because, like, you know, you'd think working with your kid that they would always, like, you know, want to come get stuff from you. It's normally the opposite. I'm always going back there, hey, can you update my phone? I don't know how this works. Or, hey, can you go put gas in a car for me? Or,
Yeah.
hey, are you hungry? Go pick me up food and I'll get you something. You know, I'm the needy one, so it's worked out better for me, actually.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so I'm talking to Joe Bettis with Ron Carter, League City. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Joe, how can somebody get a hold of you, and is there anything else you'd like to share today?
You can call me at 281-630-2739. You can find me on Facebook, my wife Lucy as well, and you can just call the store and ask for Joe. You know, one of us is always there. It's normally me.
Team Bettis. So I'm going to make sure I got that number. I'm going to put it in the comments here. It's 281-630-2739, and that's Joe Bettis. He can answer all your questions at Ron Carter, League City, get you in something that you want, that you deserve, get you traded in, upgraded, whatever you need. It's KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right, Facebook.